that dream is green. And I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man. As we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights. As we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake of us.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more failing, telling me and beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I wasn't part of the mission. Changing lives of men, women, and children. All glory goes to He that causes us all to be. Oh, and if they're thinking we can, we show them that just as long as we stand. A monument, we the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake of us. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. A couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my people rising, yeah.
Shalom, shalom, lekulam, peace to everyone. Peace to everyone. I pray everyone is doing well. I pray I can be heard all right as well. So please let me know if I'm coming through clearly. You could just put a 1 or, give me a thumbs up. You could do a 1 or just give me a thumbs up. The title of this live, I'm going to try to be short. Todarabah. The journey starts with you. So this live is based upon my newly released or upcoming book, Journey of the Proverbs Woman. I'm going to talk a little bit about why this book is so important to me and one of the driving factors of why I pushed or have written this book. All right, let me just check a few things, you all. But yes, we're going to get into it. Please share it with someone. Share with a woman. The book is for all ages. Share this live with anyone you think will be able to benefit from it. Again, it is titled The Journey Starts With You because I fully believe that according to our scriptures, according to the heart of the Supreme King, that if you are someone who wants to start over and renew your life, that journey starts with you. It starts with that new mindset. It starts with that new heart posture. And you can do it. We see all throughout the scriptures that we are able to strive for righteousness and be on the journey of righteousness when we turn from wickedness, cleanse our ways, and seek the eternal or the Supreme King's face. We see that it's evident throughout all the scriptures. We see it. So with that, in addition to that, the journey starts with you. I came up with this title because I know that in our community, a lot of our so-called Black women, there's a plethora of things a lot of us are falling under this sense of we're falling under this sense of not really understanding what our purpose is. There are so many influencers, there are so many people on social media that are coming at and there's a demographic of influencers that this is their purpose. This is their jig or their thing that they do. They come after certain people, whether it's in a harsh tone, a soft tone, whatever it is. Everyone has a base audience that they're trying to reach when they're an influencer, and that is not all the time a bad thing. That's how you make your money. That's how you have to do what you have to do. Understood. But I am seeing a rise of individuals come after so-called Black individuals, and particularly so-called Black women, in a manner to where they understand that this type of content is going to get them the likes, the comments, the shares, the controversy. I'm not writing this book, or I haven't written this book for that purpose. The purpose that I believe the Supreme King has instilled in me to write this book is for the restoration of our women. I think of many of the women before me, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Shahrazad Ali. I'm going to even name some modern ones, Princess Madaya of Tempo Kifarim, Lady Howard of GIA in Detroit, my late aim, Mora Aliyah. When I think of these women, I think of women that have a purpose to reset the mindset of the women, not go in a manner to degrade the women and then tell them, see, you deserve this. That's the approach I see a lot of influencers or a lot of social media influencers taking, because they know they're going to get a great response from it. I'm not doing this for the response, nor am I doing this for the purpose of being praised. I truly see that the so-called Black women, particularly in America, we're facing a spiritual, mental drought as far as when it comes to self-respect. And I know that someone might be watching this and say, well, I've respected myself all my life. I've carried myself a certain way all my life. And I understand that is beautiful. I understand that that is definitely worth openly acknowledging. But I'm talking about the mass number, the reputation that so-called Black women are known for on the negative side. There's a lot of positive stereotypes that we're known for, but if you just really open your ears to what's being said, there are a lot of negative stereotypes. And the thing is, all of them are not false. A lot of it is true. But there's a core to why I believe all of this is being perpetuated. I believe over the period of time, we have forgotten that a lot of these patterns are carried on because they have not been checked, or they just been carried on because people simply don't want to change. I can't make a person change. You can't make a person change. But having material and having substance for individuals, and again, my message is pointed towards women. Any woman of any ethnicity, any woman of any background can take the journey of the Proverbs Woman and glean from it. But again, my mission personally is for those so-called Black women of America, because again, you can read things to better where you are, but for the people that are in a lower and again, I always try to use my words very carefully, because I don't want it to be a sound bite that someone takes and says, this is what you stated about, et cetera, et cetera. I just understand that for the state of the so-called Black woman in America, it is not overall a good state that we're in. Again, I said this in one of my lessons. We're always patted on the back for being so-called strong. These women who have no barrier when it comes to pain tolerance. And I get that and I understand that. But as a so-called Black woman myself here in America, and just seeing what other women have had to go through, this isn't the narrative that I want to push. We can be feminine. We can be soft. We can be gentle. We can be restored. Most importantly, we can be healed. Those are the things that I'm more so pushing after. not this facade that we always have to carry the world on our back, because that was never intended for us as women to do in the first place. So it is in my hopes that Journey of the Proverbs Woman touches the lives of many women. Again, young, old, married, unmarried. I want this to be, again, something that is monumental when it comes to resetting the mindset of the so-called Black women in America. I know, again, Shahzarat Ali, Frances Cress Welsing, that's just a few to name. They did so much within their time, and I do feel like personally their torch had been dropped. I could be wrong. There could be women that have taken up that torch and speak on behalf of the so-called Black community in America, and even just the so-called state of the so-called Black people in America. I know people have talked about it and they're continuing to talk about it. You have people like Dr. Umar Johnson. You have people or individuals, Dr. Claude Anderson. You have those individuals that are still doing this, and it is beautiful. It is wonderful what they're doing. I personally like to take up from just the mindset and reframing how we look at our situations, how we look at our trauma, and in the direction of how we can change it. Because I definitely believe we can change it. Now, if we look at the Bible, if you believe in the Bible or the scriptures, the Tanakh, people might say, you know, I know people use different terms, but if we look at it and we see the consistency that if we have the mindset to change, change can come, then we can accomplish a lot, even with just baby steps. And that's where I believe the Supreme King has me in that place of bringing this forth in a nurturing spirit. I meditate on this a lot because, again, a lot of the things that we see pertaining to what the word is on social media. And I'm personally disheartened by the representation, not all of it, but by the major representation we have of individuals coming to correct us as a community. You know, and I don't say names because I don't try to get people to go and search for these people personally. But whenever you come on social media and you are directing your correction towards the so-called Black community, and you have to start it off with the N word, or you have to start it off with the B word, and you're coming as if you're attacking, there's no substance to what you're saying to a lot of people who are coming from a place of hurt. They're going to feel attacked. Again, I understand there's a time for everything. There's a time to be stern. There's a time to be soft. And I just feel like we need that nurturing spirit. We need that motherly love. We need that nurturing voice that's going to come in and bring correction. For those that are parents, when you tell your child no, the first thing you don't do, well, a lot of parents, the first thing they don't do is just yell at the child and tell them no. Sometimes it builds up to that. Tell them, all right, I said, don't touch that. I said, don't touch that. And then maybe that second or third time, I said, don't touch that. That's when you begin to add a little more to that discipline. But I really feel the need to come forth in a nurturing spirit, in a soft tone that's gonna, all right, sweetheart, let's sit down. Let's talk about this. Let's review some things that we have been doing. Let's reframe our minds. Because I realize that even just a small percentage of us, if we do things that misrepresent us as a people, it speaks volume for us as a whole. I don't know if that's just something that has to do with the curses of us, the so-called Black individuals, because we're the only people, in my opinion, that are affected by, even if it's just a small demographic of us doing it, all of us get labeled and stereotyped for it. And that made me think on nature. Again, whenever I'm thinking about what's going on in the current situation here in America, or just for us as a people as a whole, I think about nature. And whenever there is a decrease in, let's just say, lions, right? Lions and lioness. If there is something going on with male lions, if there is a shortage of male lions, it impacts the female lions. One, lions, they are an interesting set of animals just to even start with. A lot of people think of them and say, oh, they're the pride, they're this and that, but they have a lot of like interesting rules when it comes to their prides. So if something's going on with the male lions, it's going to impact how the female, the lionesses, um, how they live. If something's going on with the lionesses, it's going to impact the males because they need one another to mate and, of course, make more cubs and just fulfill what it is that they are meant to do in nature. Not to sound, Disney Channel Circle of Life, but that's what they do. Animals have their own purpose in their own circle of life, what they do. I personally believe that their covenant with the Supreme King still remains because animals do what they're supposed to do. The bees pollinate the flowers. The birds still build their nests and they do what they have to do. Animals do what they have to do and they know what they're supposed to do. I think we as people, we're the ones still getting back on track. So with that being said, I understand that even if just a small percentage of us as so-called Black women in America, if we start to reframe our minds that is going to still be a big impact, and we stop co-signing these things that degrade us as women, we're going to get some kickback, yeah, but eventually what one generation practices in moderation, the next will practice in excess. That could either be the negative or that could be the positive, but we are pushing for the positive. And again, if you are someone who is trying to figure out where to start, we're going to start with the baby steps. Start with the baby steps. Reframe your mind. Write down some things you want to change about yourself, and not outward appearance. I mean, that goes along with the heart posture, of course, but as so-called Black women in America, you all know we're called mouthy. We are stereotyped for having bad attitudes, just being loud, not being submissive. All of these things that we are stereotyped for, there's a lot of truth in it. There's actually a whole lot of truth in it. And my goal and my mission, and I know there are many other women doing this, my goal and my mission is to help us reframe that mindset and embrace it in a righteous way. Again, it doesn't always have to do with being married, because I understand that there are a lot of women that may read this book, or a lot of women, period, that are in this way of life and they aren't married. Little girls. It's their heart posture, how we respect one another. Again, before we're even married, we're already supposed to be wife-like. So this book is just going to help to fortify those that have strong character, build up those who will admit they have no moral code. They lost it along the way, or they never had it growing up. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be sensitive to, because I understand, and my sister and I, we talked about this a lot. Every woman did not have the same upbringing. Are there exceptions to the rule? You have people that grew up in very bad environments and they weren't scathed by that environment. Then in most of the cases, you have individuals who grew up in environments that were not conducive to what a submissive wife is, what a good friend is. A lot of people were in survival mode. And that's going to be what part 2 talks about. Journey of the Proverbs Woman. Part 2 is going to get into the more personal things that a lot of us go through here in America. But the first one is just building of the foundation. And again, this is very important to me because I believe that character development will take us so far. And I am for helping restore the name and the beauty and the reputation of the so-called Black woman here in America. Again, if you come across this and you just tuned in, you say, well, I'm an outstanding young woman. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go clubbing, I stay at home, I do these things. And that is beautiful. And that could be the absolute truth about your life. But when you think about us on a whole, that's not how we're represented. Shalom, shalom. That's not how we're represented. So Again, my goal is to make sure that in presenting what I believe the Supreme King has given me is to give us a foundation and some more substance to work with. Again, I'm standing on the shoulders of some very, very great women before me, and I just want to add on to this. I just want to add on to this because I truly believe that we can get that reputation back. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's also going to take a lot of discipline. We have to stop, in my opinion, co-signing a lot of these things that help degrade us and help keep us in the stereotype mindset. That means a lot of the music we can't support. That means a lot of the clothing we can't support. That means a lot of the lingo we can't support. I remember like growing up in a time where it was not okay to call another woman the B word. Now that's what you call your friends, or that's what you call your close girlfriend. And in my mind, that will never be normal to me. Again, I know people use it and they literally believe that that is okay, and that is how they, you know, conversate with their friend, with their close friend, and they would never do anything to harm that friend. But I also understand that representation matters as a whole. Again, I go back to the principle in the animal kingdom. If there is and I'm trying to think of the word, whenever like animals starts to become sick and they become rare. I'm trying to think of that word. Whenever the animals become rare and they try to go and get as many as they can to help breed them, because they know that that species is starting to decline for whatever reason that is, either being overhunted or their food supply is not substantial. But that's what it is for us as a so-called Black community. When one part of us is doing something, it affects both parties, because essentially both parties are a part of the same demographic. So it's mental, spiritual, physical, and even political when we think about it. So we have to keep that heart posture. And I know that we have a lot of strengths. Again, so-called Black women, we are known for being called strong, resilient, pain tolerance is high. And that also comes from a training, a post-traumatic mindset as well. Oh, I almost forgot another author. I think it's Joyce DeGruy. Joyce DeGruy, also standing on her shoulders. A lot of these women, a lot of these men, they have done a lot of things to shape how we think, to shape what it is that we're doing today. We have to give praise where it is due. We have to give our flowers to those that we have gleaned from. And we have to take that, and we have to take that fire that they've given us, and we have to pass it along. We have to pass it along. So the journey starts with you. It's a mindset, it's a spiritual state, it's an emotional state. There's so many things going on in today's time that make you feel like, well, what's the use? What's the purpose? If I do this, this is just going to happen. They're always going to look at us like this. When we think that way, we have already given up and we haven't even given the solution a try. We've already given up, and we can't do that, because once you understand what the bigger purpose is, you understand that you have to wash your face, wash your hands, put your shoes on, get dressed, and you understand that you have to go out there in the battlefield. No, we didn't create some of these battles for ourselves, but this is a part of life that we have to navigate through. And if a lot of those before us would have not put on those war shoes, put on their helmets and equip themselves for life, a lot of us wouldn't even have the mindsets we have today. So we can't let what they did go in vain. It may be hard, it may be difficult, but again, the journey starts with you. The mindset is the first thing. And I know I know growing up in certain environments and certain societies, there are things that are put on us as children. You know, one of the sayings Maish says, we grow up saying nobody's perfect, so we're meant to believe that that's a goal that's unachievable. It's the same thing for us as a so-called people. Well, you all will always be like this. The stereotypes are funny here and there. I know sense of humor does exist, but there are some things that when it comes to our moral code that we shouldn't play with. We can't afford to play with it because everything that we do is a reflection of who we are, even if we want to joke, even if we want to get lax sometimes. That is just that is just one of the things that hovers over us as so-called Black people here in America. And again, Journey of the Proverbs Woman, it's for anyone. Anyone can learn from it, can glean from it. That is the purpose, because character development helps everyone. In addition to that, it's the state of myself being a so-called Black woman and seeing the state of so-called Black women. It does not feel good to, well, you all are the least desired. And I'm a so-called Black woman. I'll have so-called Black daughters, so-called Black sisters, so-called Black mother. And I say so-called because we understand that. That's something I coined from my Eve, so-called, because we're not actually Black. The skin is brown. So, all of these things are just word salads. But understanding the weight that people say waking up Black in America is a scary thing, et cetera, et cetera. But what are we doing to change it? What are we doing to gain that respect back? There's this new thing that individuals are doing, and it has got a lot of ground. It has made a big impact. And I won't talk on it too much. Something happened today while me and my Ish were out. I know that there's this, individuals are boycotting certain individuals because of a case that happened. I didn't do this live for that purpose, so that's why I'm not going to go into details, but many people probably already know what I'm speaking of. And these individuals are boycotting. And just with the power of that alone, it has already impacted a certain community. Today I was out with my Ish and we were at the checkout, and the individuals who are being boycotted, right? An individual came up to me with a flyer for their salon. Now, in all the years of my life, I've never seen certain individuals have to make flyers, do commercials, do ads for anything that they do. It was just naturally known for certain individuals to support them. But I was approached, and it was what was one of the deals on it? Come to the salon and you get like $300 off of a certain type of name brand bag. And I'm just looking. I said, no, thank you. Because me and my Ish, that's just something. Like, it didn't take a boycott. There were certain things that we just stopped doing. Health reasons, and other personal reasons as well. But I thought that was interesting because that shows me, and that shows many other individuals, that we do have power. We do have impact. Now I believe we can start, in addition to that, bringing that impact to other areas. If we know economically and politically we are powerful, spiritually and mentally we can be just as powerful. The mental state of our individuals needs to be changed. And right, you said, and they only approached all the so-called Black women, no one else. I watched them for 20 minutes doing this. It's true. So that right there should show us that we have a lot of impact. We have a lot of pull. That's why I know, and I truly feel, and I know other individuals feel this and know this, that we can reset and reframe the mindset of that stereotypical way. I know it's going to be a little more difficult for the younger generation just because a lot of things are so appealing. Social media is appealing. A lot of the music is appealing. Like it's made to be that way. It's made to be so attractive that I have to have this. I want this. I love this. This is what I like. And again, to be balanced, you can have certain things, But when it comes to for our namesake, there are things that we have to put above that. We talk about pride. All pride isn't bad. All pride isn't bad. Being prideful, full of pride, that's a different story. But having a pride for your people is a different thing, because when you have a pride for your people, you're saying there are certain things I won't do. I will never lower myself and disrespect myself to do certain things. That's the type of pride I'm talking about. So again, the journey starts with you. I am approaching this book, approaching the future books with a nurturing spirit, because again, I know there are people that can open up social media, start recording you, this is that, and y'all always this is why you'll never have a man, this is why you'll never do this is why no one will ever want you. We've been beat down enough. I don't understand what the purpose is to come at one another in such tones. I don't understand it. Reading in Proverbs and reading in Psalms, you understand that there's just certain there are certain words, there are certain approaches that there's a certain time for it, and we have to be wise in what approach we choose. So I am really excited about this. Again, this is something that I don't want to say I didn't expect, but I do want to say it's something that I didn't expect this soon. I'm grateful for my Ish, because he's the one that pushed me to, go ahead and do the segments journey of the Proverbs Woman. I had been studying the women in scriptures for years, and I had been looking over it. I even had my notes of just things that stood out to me and I loved, but he's the one that told me to put this in fruition, go ahead and start with it. And from there, this has been my personal journey as well. And I know that for those who are familiar with like adventure movies don't have one main character. Adventure movies usually start with a group of individuals who grab another group of individuals who then build a bond with another group of individuals, and they go on that journey together. With this, I'm going in this with a spirit of, all right, we can do this. We're going to find a way, and we are going to refine what it is the Supreme King has given to us. He's given us his covenant to protect and to carry it on, and to protect it above all, and to live it. And, we're going to live this, and we're going to set examples, and I'm going to speak it, even if I'm not alive to see it, if I'm gray and old. The stench of us as a so-called Black woman will be removed in America. The reputation of who we are as classy women of honor, of moral ethics, is going to be back. We will not be in this drama that, oh, we're just single mothers. We're the least desired. Because two things can be true at one time. But we're going to get this, and we're going to get over this hump. And we're going to do it as a collective, because it's not just about the women. It's not just about the men. It's about us as a collective. Again, go back to the animal kingdom. If the males are affected in any small way, that directly impacts the female of that species. If the female of that species is impacted in any way, or illness comes to a large portion of them, the males are immediately impacted, because they depend on one another to keep up that species. So we have to use the animal kingdom, because I feel like sometimes we have to look at things outside of ourselves in order to be like, I get it. That does make a lot of sense. So that is our goal. Let's see what my Ish said. When the scripture speaks of pride, it's speaking of arrogance, not pride. And your people are pride or boasting in the Supreme King. Told our about for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close this live. I did want to take it to an hour, but I do understand that the time is late. Some people are getting ready for bed so they can be up for work in the morning. But I hope something that I said was able to stick. Again, the title of the book is Journey of the Proverbs Woman, Part 1. There will be other parts to it. I'm so excited for this, because This is a part of my personal journey, and I'm putting it into a book. I'm putting it into words, into thought, into prayers, into tears, into pain, into joy, and summing it up in a book. Again, there will be more in-depth details and even more personal journeys in part two. Part one is the foundation. If you think about a job and you're going in for training for 4 to 6 weeks, that's what part one is getting us prepared for. What is expected of us on the journey of a Proverbs woman? What can we glean from the women before us, and what can we do to implement it in our lives now? So I'm excited. I'm very excited. Um, Also, you all, please don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We do have a book club on Facebook. So you can find us on Facebook. If Maish could send the details, that would be great. But yes, follow us there, or add us there. We have a book club because we're serious about these books. We're very serious about these books. And yes, if I don't have any comments or any remarks, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close out. But I appreciate you all for spending time and listening in. Again, as you all can probably tell, this is very personal to me. This is very personal. And as long as I have breath in my body, this is going to be a mission to accomplish. This is going to be a mission to see other women on this journey, see other little girls. Because again, it is harder when we're older and we have to reframe our mindset. But if we can reframe it now so that our little girls have an easier chance, that's what it's about. This can't be a selfish purpose, because if it's selfish, we're only going to think about ourselves and say, I had to fend for myself. Why can't they? That's not what it was about. It's about reframing our mindset so that the generations under us will be able to have it easier. That's what it's about. Our parents did that. I'm raising you differently because I don't want you to go through what I had to go through. Some of our parents did the best they could do, and their parents did the best they can do. So we should be getting better with every generation. We should be getting better. But I do find that when that refinement isn't there, that's when we start to decrease in what it is of the values our grandparents and their grandparents taught. Because once it stops being taught, again, what one generation practices in moderation, the next is going to practice in excess. Again, that could be good or that can be bad, but open up social media or go to your local whatever, and you will see that for the most part, it is not good. It is not good. And I stand on this. When it comes to our little girls, I do not believe that our little girls should be wearing outfits like grown women. You know how I've seen a lot of women say, my daughter's going to match what I'm wearing. The mom is wearing a grown woman's outfit, and they just make the grown woman outfit but for a little girl. And we're little girls first, preteens, teenagers, young women, then women. It's like we need to go back to where you had to get to a certain age to do certain things. There were certain things I couldn't do till I was 16, 17. Loud fingernail polish and makeup. It was a no growing up. 16, no. Wait, you gotta wait till you're about 18, if that. Because it was supposed to be something that you grew into. We have to implement that back, because we wonder why people are saying this generation is so ungrateful. You gave them everything when they were younger. They never had to earn anything. So now they're entitled because of what we've allowed over the years. Like, a lot of this stuff doesn't just happen overnight. A lot of this stuff doesn't happen overnight. But I do understand that even grace has to come with that, because individuals can get so wrapped up in, I don't want them to go through what I went through, that sometimes the discipline and the barriers and the restrictions are taken completely off when that is only in the majority proven to not work so well. So we have to reframe our mindsets because, again, our little girls are counting on us. Our little girls are definitely counting on us. And I want to put this out there because I do understand that exceptions to the rule, there will be individuals that don't follow it. There will be individuals that fail. We see that in every type of example of life we have, whether it's sports, um, careers. Not everybody makes it, but it's those that have a mindset to stay consistent that still come out and change something. And that's my goal. I know I won't reach everyone, but for those that I am able to reach, it's about reframing that mindset. The journey starts with you. Accountability starts with you. Um, the moral boundaries, they start with you. And don't let anybody ever make you feel like you're smaller because you say, I'm not going to do that. You know your limitations. And when you know your limitations, peer pressure, bullying, nobody should be able to take you out of that comfort zone because you're like, I know if I do this, it's going to lead to this. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses. That's something I would encourage all women. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses. Once you have that, you know that I'm not going to go there. If I put myself in the way of temptation, I know I'm going to fail because I'm not strong there. And that's not wrong. That's not wrong. You've just acknowledged where you need help in. And through that open acknowledgement, you have set that barrier there. That does not make you weak. It actually makes you strong. It makes you wise. It makes you wise. So with that being said, I'm so excited because this is something that is so personal to me. It's so personal. I understand that one day I will be a mother to little girls, preteens, teenagers, and then adult women. And I tell women this that I meet and they ask if, I have children. I said, I want my mind. I want my mindset. I want my heart to be in the right posture so that when my children look at me, of course, and their father as well, I want them to see a mother that was trying, a mother that was righteous, a mother that was set apart, a mother that did not disrespect their father. That if we had a little argument, we stepped to the side to keep that boundary, to keep those borders for the children, to keep that moral code within the house. Because again, a lot of things are happening because of deep work that was never done in certain households. And that's why we have to have grace. Again, I see people come on social media and they are so just unthoughtful towards the things that they're saying, hypocritical, knowing they grew up in certain environments and attacking people. And I just don't understand that for the life of me. I don't understand how attacking people and coming in a certain tone makes you feel like you're going to reach people who are in a position of hurt. I don't feel like that's going to work. So I ask the Supreme King, please use me in the way that you see fit. Make my heart pure so that when I come before your people, it's a pureness. There is no inward motive. There is no hidden agenda. And when there is no hidden agenda, when there's no hidden motive, and it's coming from a heart of purity, even setbacks won't affect you certain ways because you know that you went in there without expectations of certain things. If you all are understanding what I'm saying, the expectation is I'm putting this message out there. I think it's going to be helpful. You're only hurting yourself if someone's giving you advice and they're trying to help you and you don't take it. You're not hurting that person. You're only hurting yourself. So I am coming as humble as I can. Again, in the nurturing mother, in the spirit of a mother, from someone who has many mother figures in her life. I understand the importance of a mother, the importance of a father, the importance of that balance has to be there. So, yes, you all, the journey starts with you. It starts with you. If you all don't have any comments, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close this out. I'll give it a few more minutes. Again, I do know it is late. The next time I go live, I'll try to keep that in mind to go live earlier because I do know some people have work in the morning and things of that nature. So Maish said, this book will be extremely helpful. If no one else uses it, our children will. A book of excellence. Toda Rabah. And that is right. Every book is dedicated to our future children, current children, because again, when you input your voice and you input your standard and your message within a book, you, like Maish said, you live forever with that. Technology can go down, but when you have books, you have records. You have records of what it is you have spoken, and that's important. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Toda Rabah, Toda Rabah. I'll keep everyone posted. Any updates for the book, I will post it. If you all are interested in getting the book, I'll put the information out. I'm excited for this because I really do feel like the Supreme King is restoring his daughters and his sons. Again, this isn't just a one-way street. When he's restoring the daughters, he's restoring the sons. When he's restoring the sons, he's restoring his daughters. I'm going to go back to the animal kingdom. Anything that impacts the male lions directly impacts the female lions. Anything that impacts the female lions directly impacts the male lions because they need each other. They are dependent on one another to keep what it is they have going. Oh, sorry. Maish said, this time is a good time. People are at home. The famous words of AIM. May the Supreme King Yah bless her memory. And it is so. That's right. Toda Rabah. Toda Rabah. And I definitely stand on my late mother's shoulders. Mora Aliyah. And I'm grateful. You know, there's a lot of things that she instilled in me, and that's going to go into this book. That's why this is also very personal, very important to me, because my mother put so much work into what it is that she did for Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. And I'm not going to let that stop. Of course, all the influence that Maish and that I've learned in my growth, that's going to continue to go. All the lessons that my parents have taught me, that's going to continue to flow through me as well. We keep these things alive in that manner and passing on things that were instilled in us. So I could go on and go on. All right, you all have a great rest of your night. Again, details for the book will be put out. Please join the book club on Facebook. And yes, I pray that something was said was very impactful to your life. And if you're on this journey, we're on this journey together. We are on the journey to being Proverbs Women. We're going to speak it into existence that the stench that was once on the daughters of Zion or Zion will be lifted. We will be a people of great esteem and great reputation, of course, because of the Supreme King and the work that we've put in to make sure that his name does not come to naught by our actions. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom, Laila Tov. See you all next time.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I see a dream, that dream is green. And I don't mean material things. Freedom to the land, child, woman, and man. As we take up for what we stand. Better days and better nights. As we stand and unite. We're one and the same. Why is it so hard not to point and to blame? Better sheet, get our houses in order and we'll see the peace. There are steps that we must take if we wanna see.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us.
The sake of us, the sake of us.
I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. No more failing, telling, being beneath. What a beautiful moment, and a sight I can't wait to see. Even if I miss it, at least I was a part of the mission, changing lives of men, women, and children. Our glory goes to He that causes us all to be. Oh, and if they're thinking we can, we show them that just as long as we stand, a monument. We the people can't be broken as long as we stay focused. I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. For the sake I see my people rising, no more stopping us. Couple billion acres across America, us. The peace rose for the sake of us. I see my people rising.